Welcome to Interpersonal Communication. Today we're going to be talking about what we expect in this class. And I was looking over the roster and I definitely recognize at least one of your names on there. So glad to see you back again. Hopefully you can help me kind of fine tune this class since you know my style. All right, so welcome to COM 113. We're going to be talking about interpersonal communication. So we're just going to go over kind of the broad look right now. So let's talk about required materials. Well, for this class, we have a book, and just like my last class, the book is open education resource, but there is no other book that you need. There's no workbook for this class. There's not any time in the COM lab if you're familiar with our COM lab policy. So this is just going to be the book, and you'll notice that I've actually embedded the chapters into where you're supposed to read them. So hopefully it'll be really easy to figure out. I, a lot of students I know find textbooks hard to read, so do I, but I did pick a book specifically that your computer can read to you. Sometimes I find that's easier to keep a little bit more focused on. That's kind of how I got through some of my grad school stuff. So you're going to need that book, but you're going to find it in the course. All right. And then we're going to have a few other required materials, specifically a camera. There's at least 2 assignments where you're going to have to be on camera. Okay. And of course, since this class is completely asynchronous, you're going to need a computer and access to the internet. Now, if you do not have stable access to the internet, if you don't have a computer at home, the school can absolutely help you with that. As far as the camera goes, if for some reason you don't have access to your own camera, maybe your cell phone, it broke or the sound doesn't work, the Com Lab can help you out with that. So if you need to reach out to me, if you don't know where the Com Lab is, if you do, just head on in there and just talk to somebody and say, oh my gosh, I need help. And they will be there for you. I know it. There are just a couple of different things I do like to talk about it. One is that there's several programs on this campus that are here to help you succeed in college. We don't all come with the same skill set. We don't all come from the same background. We don't all come with the same technology at home. So there's a lot of different programs here at college to help you succeed. One of them is student accessibility services. This is going to be help you with any sort of educational accommodations. If you have maybe a little bit heavier stress when it comes to taking quizzes. Maybe they'll give you extended test time. If you have a problem, maybe with you're part of the deaf community, maybe you need media that is closed captions. They can help you out with that. So if you need help, please reach out. Like I said, we all come from different places, and there's so many programs here on the college campus to help you out. All right, so let's kind of get into some of the assignments. All right, so there are several different assignments in this course. Your attendance and participation is going to be worth 50 points. Me, myself, and I presentation is going to be worth 60 points. Papers, there's 3 of them in this class. Those are going to be worth 60 points. We're going to have chapter discussions, and there's going to be 12 of them at 30 points each. And then there's just going to be some other things here and there and so on. It's all going to be worth 1,000 points. So if you've come to this class and said, I want an A in this class, that's easy. Watch your points and make sure you don't fall under 100 points. Sometimes it gives you the percentage as well as the points, and the percentage until we get to 1,000 points, you won't see it go up to A. So I always say keep an eye on those points. All right. And I'll probably throw in 1 or 2 extra credit assignments here and there. I do have a very clear late policy. For every day that you are late on assignment, I am going to take away 5 points. However, because this is a summer class, there's really not enough time for late assignments. So you really have to keep on track in this. All right. The last thing you want to do is miss that first paper, because the second paper is right around the corner. And then the third paper, which is going to be our final, is right after that. So don't let yourself fall behind. Okay. Life is unpredictable though. So if you need help, please come and talk to me. And I know that we all have this lovely little thing that we like to use sometimes called AI. I'm going to warn you now that I don't accept any AI in my class. If for some reason you feel like you need to use it, or it's going to be a great example of something, reach out to me, and only with my written approval can you use AI. I'm going to read this all to you really quick. This is going to be in my syllabus. Communication, analytical, and critical thinking skills are important elements of this course, and developing competencies. Wow, my brain went a little wild there. Let me start over. Communication, analytical, and critical thinking skills are important elements of this course, and developing competencies in this area will help you prepare for future coursework and in the workplace. I will uphold Ohlone College's policy on academic dishonesty, which includes using AI technology like ChatGPT or Grammarly. In submitting assignments, you must confirm that the work submitted is entirely your own work. As an instructor, I may follow up with the student on their submission of an assignment to verify authenticity and expect students to respond within 2 business days in order to complete the assignment in a timely fashion. Using AI will likely result in a failing grade for the overall course. Due to the fact that this is an asynchronous course, I'm going to reach out through email if I suspect AI. I'll give you a 0 on the assignment. I'll reach out. If I don't hear back with you within 48 hours, that's going to be Monday, Thursday on the summer course. I'll report the suspected AI to the school academic dishonesty portal. And at that point, it will be out of my hands. Just don't use AI. Most of this stuff is so personal, you don't want to use it anyways. So let's talk about what you're going to learn over the class. And we're going to talk about our 5 learning objectives. So describe, explain how communication creates, develops, and changes personal identities, including variables such as gender, sex, race, culture, history, ethnicity, and class. Explain the effect of communication on personal identities. Describe the effects of communication on interpersonal relationships and social and cultural realities. Analyze and evaluate ethical interpersonal communication founded on human communication theories and social science research, and understand the implications in interpersonal dynamics. Interrogate systems of discursive practices that uphold oppression and how human communication processes can dismantle oppressive practices and advocate for a more equitable and inclusive society. Analyze conflict in interpersonal relationships and apply appropriate conflict management strategies. So kind of overall, we're going to be talking about what is communication, and that's going to include things like interpersonal, but also intrapersonal. We're going to talk about self-concept and how communication actually helps shape us, both internally and external communication helps shape us. We're going to talk about emotions and how we communicate, relationships, and we're also going to talk about conflict. So if you haven't done it already, head over to the discussion meet and greet. I'm going to ask you for an introduction. That's going to include correct pronunciations of your names, what your major is, what are you looking forward to most this new year, not class related. It doesn't have to be school related, but it can be. What are you taking out of this class? What do you hope to get out of it? Also, tell us one thing you bring to our class that might help us in the upcoming weeks. It could be a skill you have, a tip, or even a personal trait. Otherwise, I'm so excited that you're here. Because this is an asynchronous class, we're never going to be in a class altogether, but I really want you to know that I'm here for you. This is my only job. So reach out if you need me at all. We can meet on Zoom at any time. And on Tuesdays, I'm going to be on the campus anyway. So we can always meet on that day as well. I'm so excited and I can't wait to see all the great stuff you learn in this class.